everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today you join me out in Wales. I'm back in Wales visiting my mum, and I'm come down to meet up with my old school friend Steve, who I've known now for 50 years, and we're going to do a bit of lure fishing for giant bass. There's a little mark which I found, oh god, it must have been 30 years ago. I found this mark when I was living in Wales. And I do pop down it ever so now and again, and it does hold some really big bass. I'll attach a photo here. I've had just under double figure ones, but the average fish you can get here is normally between 5 and 8 pound. Tremendous mark. You can't bait fish here because we're going to be fishing it. I'll show you when we get down there. It's a low water mark and the bass gets stuck in there. So I picked my old friend up, Steve, and we're going to go down and we see if we can catch him off the top of the water for you, because it's quite shallow there. It's very exciting. The only issue is they're either there or they're not there, but I'd say 7 out of 10 times you go there, the bass are there. So hopefully now we're going to go down and catch them, and I'll get the drone up and see if we can get the bass taken on the top of the water, because it's only about 2 foot deep there, and they get held up in the pool. Instead of going back out to the sea, they hold up in this pool ready for the tide to come back in, and obviously they forage then up the Neath River, a very underrated river for the bass. You get some really big bass up the Neath River. Used to get a lot of flounder, but they've gone, but we're down here today. I'm going to get my waders on now. I have normally go down there in a pair of trainers, but it is quite muddy down there, so I've got my waders. I'm going to get my waders on now, and then we can wander down to the mark, and hopefully we can get into a nice big bass view on the top of the water. Right, we've arrived in the location, as you've seen when we were walking down, and they had the drone following us. It's a lovely little stream here. When the tide's normally in, the water is actually up to the banking, but as you can see, it's left a nice long deep gully now. It's absolutely full of fish. They look like mullet, but what happens is then in between the mullet you get the bass sitting, and they like to drop back into this deeper pool here and just wait for the tide to come back up in, and obviously you go over the mud fast to feed. Over the years, it's been, like I spoke about, it's been quite rewarding to me. But when you come here, the bass are either here or they're not here, so hopefully they're here today. But it's a fantastic style of fishing. That's all I've got with me today. I've got my 20 to 30 gram H2O glide walker. It's a little bit of a grunty rod, but you need it here because the fish normally hold in a rapid, and to fight them. I got 20 pound brace. I got 30 pound, fluorocarbon. And then I've just got, comes down to a weedless and weightless lure, because it's quite shallow. You just want that underneath there, and then what you do is you cast it up and just let it come down. It's practically river fishing. You just cast up into rapids and let it come round, and then the bass obviously nail it. And that's what me and Steve are going to do now. We're going to start off in this section and work down, and then we're going to cross to the other side, and then we're going to work down through the rapids, and then hopefully we can get a nice big bass on camera for you. Yeah, Steve just pointed out, I don't know if they mullet, but it's certainly a lot of big fish moving in here, and cross fingers they bass. But that's the kit I got now. What I'll do is now I'll see if I can get the drone up and fly over, and we can have a look what fish they are. The tide is on slow water now, which is a very good tide, but also the good tide is when the tide starts flooding back in here, obviously you get an influx of bass coming up here. So we'll try and pick off the resident ones which have stayed in here, and then we'll fish them with the tide coming up, and then hopefully the rest of the bass will come up with the fish. And me and Steve can get into a nice bass for you, and I'll try and get the drone up to film the take and all that, because it is quite exciting here. We get Steve on camera as well. Steve is the master doing this, he loves it. Probably one of the best sewer and salmon anglers on the Neath River. He's one of the bailiffs as well. So he knows this water like the back of his hand, and we found, like I said, found this 30 years ago, and it's been quite rewarding. When I come home, if I'm home in the summer, I try to nip down. I've had some really good bass in here, and hopefully we can get into a double figure one year now. So what I've done is now Steve's behind the camera, and I'm going to have a quick go first. As you can see there's a deep hole there, and it goes down into the rapids. So what we find is the bass will just sit in there. So we'll have a quick fish through here now, and hopefully I can get into a bass, and then Steve will jump onto it. So you can run and see. So first cast. So all I'm doing is really just drifting it through with the current. There's one. Yeah. That's a big one. Did you see that tip? That was absolutely nailed. That is a cracker. Look at that ripping line off. You don't get much better than that. I told you second cast and he was just laying in the rapids. And that's an absolute cracking bass, that is. The only thing you've got to worry about is your structure. So you see that then, it was just coming through the water. 3 of them went for it. Got old Steve in the water, yeah. The only thing is you've got shopping trolleys, you've got everything here.
What's a snag bit on this?
Yeah, so I've got to try and get him out. I'll try and turn the camera around now. You can see the fish. Hang on, Steve. Oh, he's off. Oh, you've just seen that then. Oh, absolutely gutted. What a fish. That went far off. 6 to 8 pound.
6 to 8 pound, yeah.
First cast through. And what I spoke about. Unfortunately it came off, but I don't mind, we're going to release it anyway. But you've seen that, that was absolutely fantastic. Ripped my lure to pieces, but that was, I would say,
£6 to £8.
£6 to £8 easy. First cast through the rapids there. Absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. The only thing is now, that might be your one fish in here now, because you may have to leave it for a bit, but that's wrecked the lure. Probably my fault then. I was trying to turn you round to have a look at the fight, and I should have been concentrating on playing the fish. But it does not get any more exciting than that. Steve's going to join in by the side of me now. But that fish is just, what's it, 5 metres away from me. We'll have a go again to see if it's in the air, but about 3 of them hit it then, Steve. So, next cast now, we might have spooked them for a bit, but they were just laying in the head of the pool over there. Right there. So both of you can fish it, me and Steve will fish this together. They were right in the front, Steve. No, there they were. We'll see if we get Steve to take it now. We might have scared them, but about 3 of them went for it, didn't we? That's all we're doing is up a bit higher there, Steve. Just letting it go through. We're just slowly bringing it, let the current bring it round, and once it comes in front of you, just bring it through. They were laying just there. They were some good bats as well.
One was behind that then.
Is it?
Yeah.
But when you do it, try and go for the weightless lures. Because as you see, you've only got a foot, 2 foot of water. And the bass are normally putting in the water, trying to get some oxygen. So I think that might have spooked them for a bit. But as you can see, so exciting. I can't believe he came off. It was my fault, Steve. Messing around with the camera where I should have been concentrating. You've seen that, that is absolutely amazing lure fishing. I don't want to turn the camera off to tell you the truth, just to take another one just straight away, but I think we might have spooked them. There's one shot up there, Steve, in it, and the other one went down there. But I'm going to try and keep the camera rolling to see if we can get another one for you. As you've seen, a bass, you know, that was, I'd say, at least 6 to 8 pounds. I don't think it was a double, but how shallow the water is. And where they went through, you know.
If you can get back on that turn.
The issue you got as well is where I should have been concentrating. The tide, the flow through here is quite quick and it does put a lot of strain in it. It's nice to get him out of the current. Well, that was a cracking bass then, isn't it, Steve? Oh, shame we missed it, but never mind. But I'm going to keep on fishing. I just don't want to turn the camera off because Steve's crossed on to the other side now. But I don't want to turn the camera off because I could be laying all the way along here. What I'll do is I'll cross over now and film me and Steve over there. Gutted, man. I would love to have shown you one on there, but we would have put it back anyway. But you've seen the take and you've seen the fight and it's shooting off down there. That was amazing, man. And the thing is with this, it's a one fish mark really. You need to leave it cool down. Now when the tide comes in, hopefully it'll bring some freshness in there. They were lovely dark river bass, you know. Read about 5 miles up the Neath River. hopefully it'll come out. There's only, I think it's about 2 metres wide where I'm actually fishing into the gully. And it was mad, 3 of them went to that. And they absolutely exploded onto it. Brilliant, I hope it comes out. Fantastic. So I'm going to cross over now and have wandered down with Steve. So what me and Steve have done now, obviously you've seen that take, it was amazing, wasn't it? It was just away from the net, wasn't it?
Absolutely brilliant.
So that's spooked a bit now. We won't probably get any bass in there now until that tide comes in and brings some fresh into it. So what we've done is there's another little rapid part now which we moved up to. I'm going to angle the camera up the pool and then you can watch me and Steve walking down and hopefully we can get another take on camera. I can run down and film if one of us get it, but I'm just going to leave the camera running
Absolutely epic take, and that fish was in between 6 and 8 pounds. That was a
yeah,
lovely
it's cracking,
fish.
man. But as you've seen, it spooks at them because it's so shallow there. But it's fantastic fishing if you want to come down, and it's exciting. There's a bit of a tide flow there. But yeah, we're into them. So that's us now. We're going to wander up there now and fish this pool, and I just leave the camera facing up there, and hopefully you can see us getting one. So what you can see, Steve's gone right up to the head of the pool now to fish, and I've come halfway up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way down here. As you can see, it's not very wide and shallow. Let me angle it a bit better for you. And the bass normally sit on the other side, so I'm going to keep them quite far away and low. And hopefully you can see it. And that was fantastic, huh? Oh, he's got one. We'll run up now. Yeah, Steve's going. We filmed Steve, but now he's got a lovely bass. Look at that little bit of water there, cracking bass. I'm going to go and get the net. Walk down with him, Steve, right?
Good fish too.
Yeah, I just run down and got the net now. Nice one. As you can see, he's just taken in a rapid. Steve brings it over here. Not quite as big as the last one, but it's a lovely fish. In the current, I guess what Steve's going to do is he's just going to walk the fish back into the net. Then drop back, Steve.
Got it.
Brilliant. Well done, Steve.
That's my tea.
Yeah, we'll get Steve to get him out now. Give him 2 minutes, we sort it out and we get Steve to show out. But as you can see, what's that, 3 metres wide, and there's a lovely bass just sitting in there. We'll get back to you when we get it sorted now. Yeah, there we are. We just got it out to the net now. We did, I would say, about, I don't know, about £3, Steve. Not as big as the monster I lost down there, but as you can see, in a little stretch of water, the amount of bass is in there. Hopefully we can leave it calm down a bit now. We're going to have a quick chat and probably get the drone out and leave the water calm. But yeah, there's Steve with a lovely one.
What do you say, buddy? That's absolutely epic.
It's
What a
brilliant
lovely,
fishing.
what a lovely bar of silver.
Yeah, well done, Steve. But we're going to get Steve, get that back now, or are you going to...
Yeah, dinner, I think that's what it is.
That's gone back for Steve and his mum for dinner.
Yeah.
It's a lovely size. Obviously we don't
Yeah.
keep big ones, but that's a lovely eating size for Steve.
Anyone, anywhere, any more we catch, we'll go back.
Always go back in any big
Yeah.
ones. But yeah, as you can, fantastic sport. Gutted I missed that big one, but that's fishing for you. But there's a lovely bass for Steve.
Brilliant.
So we're gonna leave it, have a rest for a bit now, and then we'll get back to you with some more action.
Absolutely fantastic.
Well done, Steve.
Thank
So as you can see, this is perfect habitat for the bass. You've got a rapid coming down, boulder there, and then it spreads it. It's like salmon fishing, what the bass do. They normally sit in your top of aerated water, everything, crab, fish, everything gets washed down, and they're just in there. Obviously we disturbed the pool now, but it's all I'm doing, simply sitting it across, and all I'm doing is taking up the slack, and letting the lure work just at a little bit of an angle to start off with, to search it round out, like so. That's, pick up the slack, and just follow it down. I'm just sorry doing is paying up the slack. Current is doing all the work for you, and the tail then is vibrating in the water. The good thing about fishing like this is the bass haven't got much time to have a look at it because it's going past them quite quickly, so that's why the takes are so ferocious. We do miss a few of them, but the good thing is the bass, they just see it going past them, they normally turn and they're on it straight away. So all we're doing is just letting the tide do it and just keeping the, to say weightless, it's just under the surface because it's only, I'd say, a foot deep here. And we repeat the process. And what I'll do is then, once I fish here, we're going to work our way back down this pool now, and then we're probably going to have 5 minutes down there and let it rest. That's all we're doing. And as you can see, it's a tiny body of water with the fish are, and sometimes the fishing can be absolutely brilliant. It's not very good after you've had rain because obviously that pushes the bass out a bit. But once you've had sustained no rain for a while, they normally sit in here. And because we're like 4 or 5 miles up the river, they ever going back down, they sit here, and it's a good food source for them. You know, they've got full of mullet, crab, ragworm, maddies, everything. Yeah, it's great to see Steve catching our one. Still gutted now, me and Steve were talking, I missed that fish because it was a cracker. It's been good to see us landing it, but unfortunately the hooks pulled just as Steve was going to net it. Probably my fault, turning the camera around, which I shouldn't have. You could see the fight as it was going down the pool. We shot right down the pool, it was quite good. So hopefully now I can get another one and actually land one of these monsters here, because there are some monsters in here. A small body of water. Yeah, I lost 12-13 pound one on the fly in here before when me and Steve were fishing in it. Took me right down to my back in, but the weight of the rapid and that just took me. I couldn't keep up with the fish, and unfortunately I lost that. But yes, a fantastic little market. It's nice to come back when I see Mum, when when the bass are in and just come here early in the morning, just as it's just getting light. It's a fantastic time for me here, last light as normal. And it's a fantastic sport, very dark coloured bass as well in the river, lovely. But I'm going to keep on working my way down the pool now, but that's the technique I'm doing, and hopefully once I get down there we can rest it and then we can see if we can get into another one for you. But brilliant fishing. Welcome back to part 2 now. As you seen us yesterday, me and Stephen were down on this stretch of water trying for that monster bass. Obviously I missed the cracker, but that's unfortunate, but that's fishing for you. So I've come back down on my own. Steve couldn't come back down with me today because he's got family commitments, so I've come back down on my own, and we're going to see if I can get that monster for you, because we know they're in here. You know, and I've had big ones from here in the past, but I've come down on my own. I'm going to give it a quick hour here, because you'll know if they're here within an hour. And I'm just going to fish this little stretch again through, and then hopefully I can get into that monster for you. The tides are a little bit too big. I normally like to fish a small tide in here, so it leaves a greater depth of water in here. But as you've seen yesterday, they were in here. So I'm going to give it only an hour, because I'm going to meet up with Steve later and Brian, and we're going to fish Aberafan Beach, and that'll be another video. So we're going to go down there now. But yeah, it looks nice, the water looks nice. Cross fingers I can get that monster for you now. Right, I'm back in there now. I've got exactly the same lure on, and hopefully the fish are back in here. chasing him, running down after him. Look at that. I didn't have time to put the camera on. I may have to chase this one. This is a cracking fish, this is. Just took it right by the end of the rapid. The issue we got is now, as you can see, I'm fighting it in the rapids, so I might have to walk it down to the quieter water. Yeah, that's the only thing I can hear on my own. And I left the bloody net in the car. There's another lovely bass, so I'm going to have to try and beach him. I try and get him out to the fast water, which is, here we go, we'll have to follow this one down now. Yeah, it's a lovely one, this is. We're going to have to take the camera with me. We're going to have to chase him down. He's just holding there in the current. Oh, that was just, I just got there. I flicked it out into the rapid. And straight away he took it straight. First cast that was, I didn't even have time to put the camera on. He's just holding over there now. Oh, this is a cracking one, this is. Yeah, it's a lovely bass, I hope you can see it. Hopefully this one will stay on now. Let me angle you a bit better, yeah. Hopefully this one will stay on. He's just holding over there in the current. But the issue we got is the actual force of the current. I'll try and put some side strain on him now to get him over. But as you can see, look how small this water is. I'll get some side strain on him now. And hopefully I can get him out of that current. He's coming back upstream now. Don't want to put too much pressure. See if I can get some side strain on him. And just to get him out of that current and into the calmer water here so we can beach him. Sod's law, I left the net as well because I was carrying so much stuff down. There he is. You see if we can beach him by here now. Oh, he's totally engulfed that. There we go. Brilliant. Got him. Oh. Oh. Absolutely brilliant. Let me leave that out. Got him. Look at that. He is absolutely engulfed it. Lovely bass. First cast up in the rapid, but there. I couldn't get the camera on quick enough because I was just having a quick cast in it to have a look. But yeah, lovely. Can't argue with that canoe. We'll get him quickly slipped back now. He's proper engulfed it, man. Oh, there we go. Lovely. There he is. That's a cracking bass, that is. In the Neath River. Not the monster we're after, but yeah, lovely, lovely dark conditions in here. But what we'll do is I don't want to keep him out any longer. I'll get him slipped back now, and hopefully I can get that monster for you. There he goes. Back to fight another day. Get in there. See if I can get a bigger one now. Well, that's me done now. I fished the pool down. I didn't have anything at all in the deeper pool. Like I said, they're either here or they're not. They had that one up in the top, which was a brilliant fight. But I've had an hour here now. Once you fished it twice and they're not there, they're not there. But yeah, we've had a lovely little bass out there again. Fantastic mark. Now I'm going to pack up, drive up and pick Steve and Brian, and we'll head in to Aberafan Beach. But yeah, I hope you've got hints and tips out of it. If you've got an estuary by the side of you, always worth going down on low water and have a look for pools like that with a little bit of a runoff. And you know, the bass will be in there, even this far up, you know, like we spoke about 4 or 5 miles up the river. But I will definitely be back because we know there's monster ones in here, and it's trying to catch them, it is. But that's the chase of it when you're chasing specimen fish. But we've had one now. Steve had one yesterday. I lost that really big one just for there. But today there was nothing in there. But you know, another couple of tides now and they'll bring more fish up. But unfortunately, I can't wait. I need to go and pick Brian up and then down to Aberafan Beach and see what we can catch down there. But yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. If I don't see you on the beach, I'll see you on the channel. Enjoy your fishing, everyone.